Hi everyone, welcome to the PlayStation Access podcast, where we're taking a look behind the scenes at our favourite demos. Prepare to hear about Rosie's recent experience with Final Fantasy XVI, Zangief's position as a video game boyfriend, and plenty of sausage making. Enjoy! Hello everybody and welcome to the PlayStation Access podcast, the official podcast of PlayStation UK, where this week we're going to be talking about demos and behind the scenes fun. So I really struggled to think of names to introduce you all for this. So I've based it upon our What's New section, which we will get to shortly, which is about the PlayStation State of Play. So I'm going to introduce us all now. Off games from the State of Play. So
this is getting more and more niche.
Yeah, I am your host, Synash.
It's a little
Hello, welcome to the PlayStation Access podcast. But then we've got Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, I was going to sound Resident Evil 4.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. Classic for me.
Dave's Stiny 2, like 4.
Okay.
Dave's Stiny 2.
Dave's Stiny.
You're Dave Stiny. Yeah, I'll take it.
And we've got Grob Hell VR.
Grob Hell?
Like green hell.
Oh. Why does my name always make some kind of disgusting sounding
yours
word?
sounds like a big...
always sounds like some kind of horrible slimy thing you get inside
It's just always
a
Grob.
box.
Yeah.
Just grob.
It's always grob. Yeah, we've had a lot of grobs
I
for some reason.
just really like Grob as
It's
a name.
good.
I did come up with the Roblands just in case you moaned, so there you go.
The Roblands.
Like the
can decide.
That sounds bad as well.
It does, yeah.
Roblands.
Not for me.
That
For
sounds like-
anyone else who finds themselves there.
If Rob ever writes a fantasy book, it will be set in the Roblands, I fear.
It will. This is why his main character will be called Grob as well. Built in. You got to have the peasant boy rising from nothing. Little Grob. Little Grob.
I can see it now.
It just works. No one
Seven-book
steal
saga.
this. No one steal this idea.
Right, so for a preview of what we're talking about in this podcast, we'll have the main feature, which is about demos and kind of our little experience of press demos. So a behind the scenes taste, a flavour of what we get up to at PlayStation Access, because we figured it'd be interesting to take a little dive into the sausage making factory and see how thine sausages
why is it
are
always
made.
a sausage?
Why is it always the sausage?
Because you wouldn't want to see how a sausage is made. I think that's the point.
What does that even mean? Anyway, like I don't understand.
It's my favourite phrase, how the sausage is made. We're then going to move on to comments of the week, which are community highlights from the hashtag Pod Squad. Oh, well done, everyone. That felt powerful. We're then going to go to Before We Go, which is coverage outside of gaming to prove that we are real life flesh people. But first, it's the question I've already forewarned you about this week. What's new? Right, everybody, we're in the What's New section. How thrilling! Aren't we all thrilled? We're going to talk about the PlayStation State of Play that has occurred first, because there was loads of amazing goodies in that.
Yes.
So let's jump right in. It was a Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League special, as in we got an extended look at that one with some 4-player co-op. We did a little live stream after party if you want to see our fresh reactions as well. Little plug for the content. Oh, I bashed the mic. Little plug for the content. But yeah, we saw the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and that was very good, wasn't it, guys?
It was. I was saying, Dave, behind when we were doing the stream, we already decided our characters, but without knowing who we would have picked.
I've forgotten who I was.
We all had
assigned now.
We all had one character who we wanted to be, but I'm curious to see, Dave, if out of the 4 characters, who would you want to be?
Well, I watched the live stream, Rosie, so I know who you picked. Because I'm nice.
There's a spy in the midst.
Yeah, Dave will want to be Harley Quinn. I stand by that. I think you'll want to be Harley Quinn.
I mean, she is great. I definitely would take Harley Quinn for sure.
Yeah, but who would you pick?
Who have we got? Boomerang, Deadshot, and the Shark guy. What's the Shark guy? King Shark. I mean, I don't know anything about them. I know Harley Quinn a bit. Not personally, but I know enough about her to know what that would be, what I'd be signing up for. I don't know much about the others, but King Shark is like half shark, half man. And
everyone wanted to be King
we were all
Shark.
talking about King Shark.
But can't all be King Shark.
I know King Shark's taken, so I'd definitely be Harley Quinn. That's fine.
Well, he's not taken yet. That's the thing. I think we're gonna have like a battle to the death on who's going to be King Shark.
I think we should have a shark-related quiz, and whoever wins gets to be King Shark.
Oh, I
Okay,
know
yeah.
nothing about sharks.
I literally saw you looking at shark information yesterday on the internet.
Did you?
So I will not be taking part in your quiz, you cheat.
I think I could take
I was
on
looking at shark information.
You were shark information. You were.
I don't even know where you go to get that.
Well,
Shark.
you found it, my friend.
Wikipedia, you type in shark.
I think I could take you in a shark info quiz.
Oh my god, it's happening.
really?
Well, it has
Oh
to
my
happen
God.
now.
I think I could.
It has to
Really?
happen.
I really do.
will happily put together a shark
I've watched
quiz.
all
We
of
should do it for the next
David
podcast.
I will
Next podcast.
gladly do that for the next podcast.
I read
Yeah.
a book on sharks. It was called The Meg.
Oh, it's on.
Yes,
It's
I've
on.
seen that
Shark
documentary
quiz.
actually.
Oh, right. So next we had, obviously, Rosie's going to squeal here, so headphone warning. Resident Evil 4 came. Oh,
Just containing it.
it was internalised.
It's like that meme. When you haven't
trying, yeah.
told anyone about Resident Evil 4 for 5 whole minutes.
If you can't see this, Rosie is very
I just
plumped
pulled
up.
like a full-on pufferfish face.
Yeah.
Like now.
That's another sea creature, Robert, just for the quiz.
A bit of
It's
intimidating.
not a shark though, so
I love this.
it won't be in the
There'll be a
quiz.
bonus round.
Could a
On other
pufferfish take
marine
on a
life.
shark?
But yeah, Resident Evil 4 had a little showcase. We saw some more gameplay, and it was announced there's going to be a demo coming for PS4 and PS5. Very thematic, isn't it?
Oh boy, yeah.
Yes.
Should I play the demo though? As someone who's never played, I always struggle with. It's like trailers for films. I'm going to play the game. Should I play the demo?
Oh, this is a good question because I am in the same boat. And my initial would be, no, I'm not going to play the demo because I
No.
just want to go in fresh. But playing the maiden demo for Resident Evil Village completely flipped my mind on it.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, I really enjoyed playing that and having a little taste before the main event. So I think
Sometimes
yes.
they put in little extra bits as well, little challenges or little rewards
just
that
play
you
it.
only get.
Just play it.
Just play it.
Yeah.
But I've
Remember
never
the-
played Resident Evil 4, don't forget. So this will be my, it's not even like I know anything about the
I mean,
game.
that's generally how demos work, isn't it?
Well,
You're
yeah,
playing a
but it's
demo
not
for
the
something
same
that
for
you've
you.
never played
It's
before.
not the same for you or for Rosie or for you, Ash, is it? Because you've all played
It's like
it.
you want to play the full thing,
Yeah.
but you have. It's not as if you've got any pre-knowledge of it.
No.
So it's. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I didn't play Resident Evil 4. This is new
Oh,
for me as
really?
well.
You've not played
I'm
it
very
either?
excited.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I try and keep things that I don't know, like I just
Close to your
lie
chest.
about them normally.
Yeah,
But,
me too. Yeah.
But this one, I haven't played Resident Evil 4. I know about it. I know some of the beats of it from writing about it and stuff previously. When I've like helped other people with scripts and stuff. There's some more behind the sausage.
Yeah. Not behind the sausage. That's different.
I love this term though.
Yeah, I know roughly, but not really what happens or what to expect. And with the remakes kind of like on their roll, that I'm just really excited to kind of have my experience with it now. It's
Yeah.
time for Ash.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what it
Ash
is.
time. Well, not for me. It's Dave time.
Yeah.
But yeah. Either way, I agree.
So I think we should play the demo and then watch these guys go wah about all the things they know, and we can go whoa about the things we don't know.
Very
You'll be
different
like,
pitch.
shut up, stop saying things. I'm playing this now.
Yeah, you started talking about someone's death the other day, just straight up. I was
Whose?
like, oh, okay. Well, I'm not
Don't
gonna
bring
say
it up
who.
again, Rosie.
Oh,
The long pause for the audio listeners was
I was
Rosie
just like-
thinking.
you can hear the gears going in my brain.
Thinking about death. We've also had from the State of Play, we had another little look at Goodbye Volcano High and got a release date for the 15th of June on PS4 and PS5, which is good, wholesome dinosaur fun.
Yes, God, I have no idea what to
A
expect
band,
from that.
a dinosaur band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mini games, there's dating, there's...
It looks like to be lots of like a whole. I got Life is Strange vibes from it, but
Yeah.
also there's like rhythm action vibes, and you mentioned the We Are OFK
Yeah.
game as well.
Yeah. Which is like a dating band
Yeah,
game.
it looks cool. Probably too cool for me.
I was
Like,
thinking it might be a
I
bit
don't know
too
if
cool
I'm
for
cool
you.
enough.
I don't think I'm cool enough.
No.
I don't think any of us are cool enough. We're not trendy enough
No.
for it.
I say,
but
Dave, you
enjoy
are the
it.
coolest one for like
I
you're
don't
the
know
one who
why you would
actually
think
plays
this.
instruments and you wear like really cool clothes.
I
like,
mean, Rosie, I'm shriveling into a small ball here with what I'm taking to be compliments. Thank you very much.
I can't believe
But-
Dave's the coolest of us.
Yeah, you can.
I'm offended now. I was there like, oh, maybe me. But No, it's true. It is. You're very cool, Dave. You're very cool.
You're also
Stop
very cool.
talking about this now.
You dress very cool.
No, I don't.
You're very trendy.
Oh, sorry, Rosie. I've touched your foot with my cool foot. Everything's going wrong.
I've been blessed by the cool foot.
This is like when you play games, and if you compliment you on how well you're doing, you will crumble. That's like my favourite part. You can't sabotage you any other way than going, "You're doing really well."
Yes, that will definitely work. I
think you're going to win this.
I need to be challenged. I'm not good with positivity.
Yeah. Well,
in my court.
Goodbye, Volcano High. You're going to be allocated the trendy man player now. We also had Baldur's Gate 3 announced with a release date of the 31st of August on PS5, which is incredibly exciting.
Yeah.
I remember the old Baldur's Gate on PS2. Yes. Dark Alliance with that front cover with the little lady on the front and the light coming out her back. Oh my God, I loved it.
I just remember the puddles.
Yeah, the puddles.
It was, I said this in the after party, but Baldur's Gate was the game that started my love affair with water graphics in video games.
The love affair.
Really? That's where it all began?
I remember that the puddle physics, when you're like in a puddle and the ripples that come out of your character and the way that you make the water move blew my mind when I first saw it in Baldur's Gate.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
They've
good.
got a lot to live up to then.
Yeah, I was going to say, Baldur's Gate 3 is, I want to see those puddles like...
So do I.
I want to be able to feel it on my actual hand.
You will? You will? I'm going to spit on your hand. How's that for water graphics? From the Save Play, we also had loads of other little bits. I'm not going to go into like everything because you can check out the blog for that. You can check out our lovely live stream. But we did have Destiny 2 Lightfall get a little feature, and Chia, and loads of other things. Is there anything else you guys want to throw in the mix that you're excited for? Yeah, Humanity. Weird.
Looks like my kind of weird, like...
That's all that word looks like, my kind of weird.
My kind of weird. I'm like all those people jumping around and you're a little dog and the music sounded really great. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Sorry. I enjoyed Street Fighter 6.
Yeah. That's been going around on the internet, Street Fighter.
Zangief in particular, I enjoyed.
I've been liking
and
all
so did you, Rosie.
Yeah, Zangief he looked brilliant. All the characters look brilliant.
Oh, yeah, you were looking at his jiggly bits, weren't you?
It's because you can't help it that his pecs start jiggling when he's fighting.
What? No, I know.
It's very detailed. Zangief is a very, strong man. Strong.
That's true.
Oh, God.
Strong.
Sounds like there's an update to the boyfriend list.
No. Boyfriend list. Zangief hasn't made the boyfriend list, although I do like him in the
poor
Zangief.
Film.
No, because Zangief is not the boyfriend list. Even with his jiggly pecs, you're going to put him on the boyfriend list.
I don't know him well enough. I don't know Street Fighter anywhere near as I know Tekken.
It's just made me think of the Jigglypuff song. Jiggly pecs, jiggly pecs.
I swear you got closer to the mic when you sung that as well.
Jiggly pecs, jiggly.
Stop it.
Rather tuneful, actually. Can't you imagine having a little sleep on Zangief's jiggly peg?
I love how Rosie won't, I still don't understand the boyfriend list. And I don't explain it, Rosie, but I love that your reason for not putting Zangief on because you don't know him well enough. No. You did have Scott Shelby on the boyfriend list, who, mid-game, you were like, do you know what? I know him well. He's going on the list. Fantastic. And then by the end of the game,
by the end of the game,
revealed himself.
Yeah, when I finally,
not literally.
Yeah, when I finally saw the end of the game, then I was just like, oh, okay, right. This is not boyfriend material.
And you didn't take him off is the best part.
He's very low though.
He was at number 3. By the end of Heavy Rain. He's lost a few points. He danced number 10 now.
We're gonna have to. I want to play Heavy Rain again now, just to revisit everything he does and thinks that Rosie's like, yeah, but
keep him low.
He cooks a good omelette.
Yeah.
He cooks a good omelette.
Like before the thing that happens. Like, when he's at the beginning cooking the egg and stuff, anything after that, that's when I was just like, he's pretty much off the list at this point.
Pretty much off the list?
Yeah.
What does it take for someone to be ejected from the list? Like, what level of depravity are you not willing to overlook?
I haven't classed Scott Shelby as on the boyfriend list in a long time, so at this point, he's just off the list. He's off the list,
by the guy from Dark Pictures or whatever.
This is only peer pressure that's done this. He was on the list.
Rosie knows secretly he's still on the list.
The list always gets updated, and as it gets updated, some I'm just like, no, you're not really on the
Where
boyfriend.
can we view this list? Like the up to date.
It's on a blog
The
spot.
up to date 2023.
I haven't
boyfriend
actually
list.
made like a fully updated document.
Please do it.
We
Just online,
actually
just the
need
list online, and at any point anyone can check it.
Maybe we
and
should
they
get
can
it
see-
designed and we could put it on the community tab.
I think
Rosie's
so.
boyfriend list.
Yes.
I'd like to see it.
It's we'll put. Don't worry, we'll put non-definitive and
Yes.
maybe
Subject to change.
Subject to change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. And then Scott Shelby can have like a weird circle
Just
on
an
the edge.
asterisk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scott
Shelby
Shelby.
asterisk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went
before
off.
the revelation.
Yeah, before the revelation.
Before the revelation. After the revelation, he got off the list.
Yeah. Well,
That's not what you said a minute ago.
To be
but
fair,
yeah.
Norman Jayden at this point is probably more on the boyfriend list than Scott Shelby is, because I love Norman Jayden. He's a
Well,
great
I'd
guy.
hope so, yes.
I love Norman Jayden. He's a great guy, bless him.
He is.
the
Great
curator is
shades.
the best one on your list.
Oh, the
But
creator.
I'm gonna move us on to the last point in our What's New round. Do you remember when we used to do that?
Yes.
What's new? I'm gonna move us on to the next point of our What's New list, which is Power Wash Simulator is getting the Midgar special pack,
It's
and
finally here.
it has released this week. So yeah, I hope you caught it on Thursday, the 2nd of March. If you haven't, here's your reminder to go and get cleaning, because there's loads of cleaning to be done. Are you going to be playing it, Rob?
No, I'm not. Because I don't think Midgar should be clean.
Well, I was going to say, that's a big job.
Yeah,
Because
it's a big job as well.
Not a clean place,
No.
from
Well-
what I can tell.
Well, it's not just Midgar, the whole of Midgar.
Right.
Otherwise, that would be
Clean at the city.
The whole city.
that would be quite tough, wouldn't it?
But even
So-
if it's any bit of Midgar,
I will tell you what it is.
Oh, please
it's
do.
5 places. So it's the Scorpion Sentinel, and it wriggles. It goes bleep bleep, which is like a boss bite. Bleep, bleep, bleep. And it has dirt on it, and
isn't that like one of the first bosses?
It's the first
right.
boss.
I think I fought that one.
and it has Mako
do.
energy on it that you got to scrub off, and
Okay.
battle damage.
That's
And
cool.
you're also going to clean Hardy Daytona and Shinra Hauler.
That's cool.
Yeah. The
That's
Mako
the bike.
the Mako energy exhibit. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
exhibit.
The
What, like,
exhibit. The Airbuster. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just cleaning bosses. Cleaning bosses and bikes.
And
Yeah.
Seventh Heaven.
Oh, I would like to clean Seventh Heaven, so it's
Yeah.
all nice and lovely for Marlene.
That's the pub. That's the pub.
Yes.
Just for anybody like me who was like, what the hell does all this mean?
It's probably the cleanest bit in Midgar.
Yeah, but
Well, that's the
Tifa's
thing, yeah.
messed it up.
Well, that's what you do then.
Messed it
Yeah.
up.
What's she done?
She's put lots of muck on it.
Oh, Tifa.
Yeah.
Well, again, don't really have any point of reference for this, but I think that I love this idea of this kind of crossover. I'd love to see this in more games, especially like sim games and stuff. Taking like some IP and putting it into a power wash simulator. It's so much fun. I would love that with to see more of that. That would be great. I'd love to clean Star Wars,
What would you clean in Star Wars? What's really mucky?
Jabba's palace.
Again,
Ooh,
Star Wars,
And it's sandy.
like Midgar. That's like, there's so much character comes from the rustiness, though, right?
I agree.
I don't want a gleaming.
One of the reasons I didn't
Midgar.
like the prequels so much. Everything's all new and shiny.
Well, you could clean the sword though. The big sword.
What?
Not in Star Wars.
Right, I was like,
you mean the
come
Buster
on.
Sword in Final Fantasy?
Yeah, you can clean that.
That's shiny.
Yeah, and make it shiny new.
Either way, I just think I love this idea. I think it's cool.
Okay.
And
I did think with Star Wars, what if you could clean, like, the X-Wing when you've just used the Force to raise it from...
from the lake.
Yeah, from the lake.
Great shout,
that would be a
Rosie.
great one to
That's
clean.
a great idea.
Mm.
Yeah.
You should
Clean
be able
off
to use
all
the
the
force all
Dagobah.
over.
all the pond dirt.
Yeah.
Clean off.
It is
Yeah.
mucky.
That
It
would
does
be
make me a
good.
bit sad, that.
Jabba's palace, it would be gross. The Rancor pit would be
Yeah.
great, like cleaning off all the bones.
So good. Yeah.
Like, and all the chomping.
And I feel like sand would make it more difficult as well.
Sarlacc pit, do that
Yeah,
too.
Sarlacc pit.
Clean his teeth.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Oh, I love that. Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Okay, well, there's your next one, Power Wash Simulator. And there's our request that we'd like, please. Right, everyone, that is the end of the What's New section. We've learned everything there is new in the whole world of PlayStation right now. So we're going to move on to our main feature, which is about demos and behind the scenes. And actually, there is some new stuff in there because Rosie has been to see Final Fantasy XVI, so she's going to tell us about that and that gameplay demo in particular. So stay here. Stay.
Please.
Whoosh. That's us back in the main feature. Had a little jump on the sofa.
That's something we used to do as well. I was
Yeah.
always against it.
There we go.
The landing.
That's all of us coming back into the PlayStation Access Zone.
Yeah.
And now that we're here safely and on our sofas, I'm all buried in. I'm getting smaller and smaller, like a little beetle in this sofa at the moment. It's very comfortable. Rosie, I would love to hear about Final Fantasy XVI and your demo experience.
Oh.
And basically, throughout this, we're going to be talking about those moments that absolutely blew our mind. When you go in with no expectations, when, you haven't seen a game before, it's coming, you don't know what's going to happen with it, you don't have any frame of reference for it because there's little embargoes or it hasn't had any like public releases yet, and you get to just go in there and be like, right, fresh slate, what's it all about?
Yeah.
Ooh, well, it was very exciting. I'm like, not only from behind the scenes of what we do for work, but even if you go to something like EGX, when you have the build up, when you don't know what you're going to play yet, but you see like there are some posters put up and a bit of theming set up. So they had those, I don't know what they're called. They're like, the posters that you pull up from the floor and then they stand on their own.
I think they're called standees.
Standees.
Yeah.
Well, they had a couple of standees. Like all Final Fantasy 16 related. So that, and things like that always get my hype up already. I'm like, oh, there's a
Standees. I hope there will be standees.
Oh, it's the same when if you're at EGX or
That's
something.
a request.
And
Like whenever anyone emails me about can Rosie go to this event,
Yeah.
will there be standees?
Will there be standees? How
Can
many?
she please
How
bring
many
back?
standees?
If
I'd
not,
love
then
to have
no.
a collection of standees. Imagine if we had that in the office.
That'd
just
be so big.
Yeah.
That'd take up so much room.
But imagine how cool it would look.
A
Like
forest of standees.
And if you had people around, you could be like, guess, do you know what standee this is going to be? And then you pull it up, and then it's like, whoa, you
That'd
didn't
be
think
a
it was
fun
that.
game.
Yeah,
Rosie
wouldn't it?
game. Yeah.
Just standees of Rosies.
Yeah.
Can I start crouching and then slowly stand up as the standees go? But yeah, so that was super cool as well. And seeing the screens where you see that you've just got the demo menu. And already just seeing the title, you're just like, oh, it's there, it's there, I was going to start playing it. And I had the moment where, so we had a presentation beforehand for some behind the scenes, and when they said, okay, it's time for everyone to get ready, I was a fool and just immediately started walking to one of the consoles on the demo setups. I was like, oh, it's time to play. And then they're like, no, you have to, it's the presentation first. I was like, oh, okay. I just looked really keen just to be like, I'm going to play the video game. But the demo itself was awesome. It was really cool. Like, I was immediately like blown away when I played it. When you're playing a demo and you're just in your own little world and you're just like, oh, this is so cool, this is fantastic. I've had that a lot at EGX as well, and other events, things like that, and just playing it, it was just so cool. And I had the thing as well, when you're playing a demo and you're obviously there are monitors and screens all around you and you can see from the corner of your eyes where other people are.
Yes, that's my favourite thing to do is look what everyone else is doing.
I'm someone who gets paranoid when that because if someone's a bit ahead of me, I'm like, am I being really slow?
I'm always behind everyone else.
But it's because I'm
when
looking
I'm at
around.
These kind of events, always.
I'm always like, I take it. It's like I look around and make sure I like look at all the menus and everything. And meanwhile, I see other people who have just purely gone in for like the gameplay. But then because of that, you also see they're fighting a boss, and it's like, oh, I haven't done that boss yet. That would have been that would have been cool to see first. But that's just my own fault because I'm just when you're in the demo, I have that thing where I want to look at everything, but also, there's a certain amount of time. And the last thing you want is that you're busy looking at like the details of a brick wall. And then it's like, oh, the demo's over now. And then you're like, oh, okay, sorry.
How much time did you have with the game?
We had loads of time. Like, so it wasn't like a fear for this demo because we had lots and lots of time. I think they said, you could start. It probably goes on until around 1:30, but you've got lots of time. And literally, I think after that, some people replayed the demo. I did that with Crisis Core. I remember when I played a demo for that. I think I played that one 3 times because we were capturing it as well. And I thought the first one I captured it. And then I was like, no, that's terrible gameplay because you don't know the game, you're going into it first time. And then the second time I did it, I was like, no, I could have done that better. And I was like, I've got time, so I did it a third time. And then I was like, yeah, that's the gameplay. I've learned how the game works now.
Tell us about Final Fantasy XVI, Rosie. Like, what about the game itself?
Yeah, but the game itself is awesome. It's so good. It gave me like the same excitement and just like, oh, this is a the really good PS5 title as Demon Souls did. You know, when you first play Demon Souls and you have like the haptics on the controller and it looks beautiful and it plays beautifully. I had the same hype and excitement as I did with that, and I was like, and I wasn't expecting that at all, like, because I love Demon Souls to pieces, so I was just like, I wasn't expecting this. So in my chair I was just like, oh, this is really good. But I absolutely loved it. I loved my time with it. And I wish, you know, that we had the game already. And as soon as I finished it, I wanted to tell Rob, especially Rob, about it desperately. I was like, Rob, I have so much I have to tell you.
Well, you did, didn't you, in another video on our channel?
It's on the channel now.
If you want to check that out. But yeah, Rob, are you excited for Final Fantasy XVI?
Very.
Everything you've heard?
Very, very excited, yes. And I was sort of, I was very jealous that Rosie got to go and play it, and a little bit annoyed. I should be going to play that. But then I thought to myself, actually no, like, I'm also really looking forward to my first hands-on with it being like the final game, which is also exciting as well. But yes, I'm very much looking forward to Final Fantasy 16. And a demo for me that always sticks out in my mind is another Final Fantasy one, I'm afraid. But I always remember the first time I ever played Final Fantasy VII Remake at E3 2019, and you went into like this big holding area. I think there might have been standees. There might have been standees with Cloud and Sephiroth on them.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And it was all the area in which we played Final Fantasy VII Remake was decorated to look like Midgar. So there were like
was it dirty?
Dirty, yes. It was not clean. There were pipes around the ceiling. It looked like you were inside a Marco reactor. Sorry, I always say Mako, but officially it's pronounced Marco.
Can you not say Mako?
It's definitely not pronounced Mako.
It's definitely not pronounced.
In the Midlands, mate. Mako reactor.
Give us a piece of some energy.
But I don't know if you've ever had this, but when I first held the controller and moved Cloud in the demo, I got that sort of starstruck feeling you sometimes get with games that you've been looking forward to for a long time. You're like, oh, I can't believe I'm actually controlling Final Fantasy VII Remake right now. And I didn't lose that feeling through the whole demo. And it was the opening Marco reactor bit where the bombing mission, essentially. You go in with Cloud and you take down the Scorpion Sentinel and you blow up the Marco reactor. It's that whole bit, and it was unbelievably amazing.
I remember doing that as well. Like
everything I hoped it would be and more. And that demo always sticks in my mind as one that I was just like, oh, I've just, you know, I'd been doing the job for a number of years at that point, but in that moment I just felt like an excited child, like doing it for the first time. It was amazing.
I played the remake demo at EGX, and I remember I was with my friend at the time. And my friend, like, there's a couple of games that he'll get really, really excited for, and he was super excited for this. And, you know, when we sat on our desks and stuff, I remember, like you say, playing it at EGX. And not only, it just brought back a fun memory, because the chair I have on my desk at home, it's the same chair that we played from that you had on that demo, and it was because my friend and I were so comfy. My friend was like, I need this chair at home. So that demo then convinced my friend to get the same chair, and literally he was looking at pictures on EGX of like people taking pictures of them, but the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo, managed to find the chair brand, found the chair, and he was like, I found the chairs. So that's just why it was a fun demo memory when you're like, Final Fantasy VII Remake. I was like, oh, office chairs are the same at home of Final Fantasy VII Remake at EGX.
I don't know if we should send you to any more demos, Rosie, because you seem to get sold on standees and chairs.
I love demo sessions. I love them very much.
Not sure about anything else. I think I've been lucky to see lots of gameplay demos over the years at various events. One that for some reason it keeps just like sticking out to me is when Rob and I went and first saw Alien Isolation. And we've spoken before about playing it at E3, which was later on, and about how we just got so scared and Rob just ended up just being purposefully eaten by the alien. But the first time we went to see it, we went to Creative Assembly's offices in Guildford. Yeah. And as I recall, Rob, it hadn't been announced yet. This is one of those amazing times when the game hadn't even been announced. Like, obviously we were told what we were going to see. We were going to see an Alien game called Alien Isolation, but the game's existence hadn't been announced to the wider world yet, and so we had no frame of reference whatsoever for, was it going to be good? Was it going to be, what was their take on was it going to be more like an Aliens kind of a vibe, with Marines and shooting and guns, or what was the whole thing? So I remember distinctly just descending into more and more fear as the day went on, because we arrived quite chirpy and whatever, and then we had this,
we had like a briefing, didn't we?
Had a briefing, and they just started to show us it, and it started to look quite scary, and then they started to explain, tell us little bits and pieces about the development and choices they've made, and that made it more and more scary, and how they'd done some play testing, and how they'd given, I really remember this story, I thought it was great, how their thing was they wanted to make the alien terrifying. They wanted you to know not to attack the alien without telling you, like just to see it, you would be so scared that you'd know not to do it. And so they thought they got the alien to a good place, and to test that they gave lots of play testers the game, a little demo to play, but they gave everyone big guns to see in the gameplay demo, to see if they would see the alien and think, "I'll shoot the alien," and apparently everybody, even with their big guns, just ran away straight away. They were like, no, and they were like, "Oh, I think we've made a good alien." So we went around and we spoke to some people who were making the game, and they showed us little demos of things.
We saw it, didn't we? We saw it animated on like a developer's computer, tweaking
cool.
like the limbs of the xenomorph, and it was great.
And it became just scarier and scarier, and then it was time to play, and luckily there was only one station for PlayStation Access, so Rob stepped up, and I sat next to him.
Is that true?
Yeah,
I think it's more that you stepped down.
I think I was recording or something, I don't know, and let Rob play. And Rob, you were playing with the headphones on, obviously, and everything, so you were getting the full experience, and I was sat just next to you in a very dark room around everybody who's playing the same bit, and it was absolutely terrifying. There's something about I was just absolutely blown away. But the thing is, like we said so much about Alien Isolation, it's too scary for me, but I'm desperate to play it instantly. As soon as you loaded the demo, there's a quality to the world, like the kind of film grain, and this, I love the focus pull that happens when you use the motion detector, and you have to look close at it, and all the world goes blurry because you're focusing on the motion detector and all that kind of stuff. All the little details, the drinking bird and stuff on the table, and it was like not a part of the game. I think it was like a little special demo that they made, but it was so effective. And because it was one of those amazing situations where we'd gone, I had no expectations really, didn't know if it was going to be a good game, I didn't know much about Creative Assembly, I don't think there'd been loads of good Alien games in around that time period, and I came away just thinking like, this is going to be massive, this is going to be such a good game. You could just see how they just got it. Everybody on that team just got it and loved it and cared so much about it, and it was like, oh, this was really good. And I didn't even get to play that one, I just watched Rob play it, but I was still blown away.
I remember I managed to do that demo really well. Like I actually got through that bit that they'd set up.
You had to get to an airlock or something.
I don't think I actually saw the alien at all in the demo.
I'm not
when
sure.
I played
Maybe
it,
in like a cutscene at the end.
I'd done it so well. I thought
it was actually amazing.
It was like you doing the House Beneviento baby bit in our recent stream. Like there were just little hints of the baby, but you managed to do the game so well that we didn't actually see it. But I still felt its presence like so overwhelmingly.
Yes.
Constantly bring out the motion detector, and it makes that iconic blip blip. Blip noise, and you can hear it sort of like stomping around. You can hear it in the vents. I remember coming away as well thinking, flipping heck, that feels like Alien, the film. Like it's got the same tension, the same vibe, the same look. Very impressive.
Ooh, my favourite was my favourite demo that I've done. I haven't done many. Like I'm a little baby in the games industry, or feel like a little baby in the games industry still. But the Callisto Protocol, like most recently, I really enjoyed it because mostly because I got there and it was in a cave and Glenn Schofield was there, so I was like, wow. But the game itself, I remember just being so hyped at it being like Striking Distance Studios, who had Glenn Schofield and all the people from Dead Space on it, that it was going to be like this Dead Space spiritual successor, that it was going to involve all these things. And the section they did was chapter 3. And you got to see so many pieces of like the game coming together, like your abilities, your big weapon that you can smack the biophage with, see some different types of biophage as well. It was just, I remember I recorded myself playing it because I thought, oh, maybe we can use this for something. And we didn't in the end. But I was sat there with my phone on the screen recording me the whole time. And there's so many videos of me just going, because it just totally got me. I think I yelped at one point, like out loud as well, like a little woo. So and they had that, and everyone else was dead silent and doing their work. I think only one person managed to actually finish the demo and like beat all the bits that you needed to do, because everyone else kept going like, getting caught up on all the scares. But I remember that totally blew me away because it just looked incredible. Like it was so detailed. And I had loads of fun getting through it. I got really stuck, like really badly stuck. Like, you get embarrassed because you're like, oh God, they're watching, they can see me. I got really badly stuck. And then because I was so stressed about it, I kept getting more stuck, and I was like trying to like battle through. And every time I was like trying to throw these biophage in a bin and then run past to be like, come on, I don't want the devs to look. I'm embarrassed. I'm scared. Managed to do it in the end. That's like, was a great feeling. But the demo itself, yeah. And just going into that cave and having like the setting, and they had all of like these screens up with the guy's face on and like life signs and everything. It was so immersive, as well as being just a fantastic game.
Yeah.
A cave with Glenn Schofield.
I know.
I was like,
cool.
Is he here?
It's weird, actually. Another one for me is another horror game, which is Resident Evil 2 remake. And I think the reason being is like this. There was something really special about Alien Isolation where we didn't know anything really about it, and then it turned out to be amazing, and that was so exciting. And for Resident Evil 2 remake, that was a game that I thought, I don't want to play this game at all. So I went along, a bit begrudgingly. I went with Nath, and he was playing the game, and I just was watching him play. But we recorded it like a Let's Play, and it was the section, I know I've spoken about this before, it was the section with Mr. X chasing you around. And I have no real, important recollections of Resident Evil 2. I think I played it for about 20 minutes when it came out when I was a child, and I don't know what on earth I thought I was doing. I was absolutely terrified. Big mistake. But it didn't have any kind of love for it or anything. And I thought it would be too scary for me anyway. And getting to and first of all, again, there was a look of it. It just looks amazing. That game looks absolutely incredible. The environment when you first in the lobby of the police station, which is where you start in this demo that we played, I was just completely it fell in love with the look of everything. But because I got to play it with Nath, I enjoyed it so much. I enjoyed that Let's Play so much. Like, he was doing all the scary stuff, and I was just there sort of like eking along with him. But it felt like I had seen, we did that bit, the whole Mr. X bit. It was probably, I don't know, an hour or an hour and a half we had, and we managed to do it, or he managed to do it, and I was so compelled. I loved all the little puzzles. I was working out all the bits, like being one step removed, I was able to focus more on the puzzles and just like, you need to get that over here and like check your inventory, you've got that thing, oh, that's to go in that thing. I was so completely compelled by that. And that when, by the end of the gameplay demo, I thought, also Mr. X was so scary. I found, that constant presence just horrifying. That by the end of the demo, I thought, I have seen the worst of this game, as in like, I have seen the scariest thing. I know what to expect now, and I am still like, I was still thinking about it like for hours after that day, like just, I really want to know what happens next, and just, I really want to finish that puzzle with the thing. That for me personally, it was an amazing demo because it made me think, I actually really want to play Resident Evil 2. Like, that's something I never thought I would say. And I did play it, and I did love it, and it was like a real revelation for me. And if I hadn't have gone to that demo event with Nath, I don't think I would have played it when it came out, because I just think it just gave me the taste I needed to know what I needed to know, about the game. It was like the perfect experience of it for me, because I think even if I'd had to play it myself, I would have been too scared. We were playing in this very dark, very cool. It was meant to feel like I think it was like an old like courtroom or something. It was like stone and marble, and it was meant to feel a little bit like the police lobby, which was very nice. I think if I'd just been playing by myself, it might have been, I don't know if I would have enjoyed it as much, but getting it demoed by Nath for some reason was just like excellent. I enjoyed it very much.
What do you guys think makes like a great demo? What ones have you come out of and gone, yeah, that's
standees.
Exactly.
It's the chair you're sat on, I find. It's really important.
I will say, it's not like, in terms of an actual demo, I just want to focus. One that I always will pick as one of my favourites was actually doing Kingdom Hearts 3 at EGX, because when you say like with your question of like what makes a great demo, that one I remember was great. Because
standees.
There weren't standees in that one, but there was like
Rosie remembers.
I remember you did have you had like the little photo area where you could take a picture holding a Keyblade, and it was all set in the Toy Story world, and I love Toy Story anyway. So for me, like that, what made that demo great was that it was a really good showcase of like. You saw Sora, Donald, and Goofy in like a new outfit that was designed specifically for that world, which is an exciting thing with the Kingdom Hearts universe. I was incredibly excited for that anyway, because I was like, oh my god, Kingdom Hearts 3 is finally here. Like, it's been so long, oh my god. So that was just a great thing as well. But yeah, I think for like what makes a great demo, it's like showcasing good bit of gameplay as to what you're going to do. I personally like demos where they've picked a good section, but it's not necessarily like the best section, if you know what I mean. As in,
save some surprises.
Save some surprises, yeah. So yeah, leave a couple of surprises for when the full game is released, and yeah, just showcase some awesome gameplay, a little bit of story, have a little touch on like a really cool moment in the game, but not necessarily the best, because
you want it safe.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess that's just it for what makes a great demo.
Yeah, I always want it to be early on, so you get like you know what the story's about without knowing the beginning. And I want to be left on a cliffhanger, like, which is awful. I never do normally, but I like thinking, oh my god, I want to go back and play some more to figure out what's happened there. The Devil in Me did a really good one where they showed us the opening and like set it all up, and then we're like, oh no, you can't play anymore. And then you got a little preview of what was to come in the season. But no, I think you're right. It just needs to be a slice of gameplay that has a bit of everything. It needs to be, what's the inventory like? What are the menus like? What like little adventure can we go on? Is it a self-contained story? And then gives you that full impression of what the larger thing will be like, and you can just go away and gush about it. For sure.
I think not knowing about the thing too much has always been my favourite experience of demos. As I said, with Alien Isolation, like that's been great because it gives you the opportunity. I love going in kind of like with no expectations, because then the only way is up, and often you will find things you just hadn't expected, like find things exciting you hadn't expected. I think what makes a good demo is difficult because it depends on the sort of genre of the game and whatever. But I think a cliffhanger, I mean, it makes sense. It would be good. Don't want to get too much of a conclusion in a demo, and definitely, like I said, the section I played with Resi 2 was sort of perfect, because also it gave us a lot of time. That was really perfect. You couldn't do this in many games because you were under constant threat, so it was moving you around this kind of like self-contained kind of open world, but the world is a building, and by the end I just like my appetite was wet. I was like very that's the term, that's the phrase.
Yes, with a H.
With a H. And I think that's what that's the best thing, is to leave them wanting more. I don't want to experience too much, not even of the powers, or I don't want to know too much of the possibility. I just want hints of what can happen, like let me know what I can expect, but without letting me have it just yet.
I think ultimately it's just got to be a really good game for me. What makes a good demo is a really good game. Like, you can dress it up. I personally love a little bit of set dressing, like the Final Fantasy VII remake thing I mentioned earlier. Especially if it's something I'm personally very excited for. I like that little special touch of like, ooh, like it really sort of gets you in the spirit, in the mood of the game. But yeah, I would agree with everyone that you don't want to see the absolute best bit of the game. You want to see just enough that gets you excited. You want to get a feel for the mechanics. You want to, feel what it's like to play the game without having like the best, most spectacular bits spoiled for you. But yeah, I do like a good set. I loved feeling like I was in a Mako reactor whilst playing Final Fantasy VII Remake.
You're a fellow standee enjoyer. I see.
Well, more than standees. I'm more than standees, really, yeah.
I definitely like I love an Instagram moment. That's what we like.
I'm gonna put myself out there and say I actually dislike a standee.
You dislike a standee?
I do, and it's because in the past, when Access started, I did lots more filming of like interviewing people at press events.
They were always
and unfortunately, press events, they always just had these little tiny thin standees, and on camera, I just could never make them look good. They're so thin that you just
get better at your job.
Try and stand someone. That's exactly what everyone else said.
I'm joking. I was just defending the standee.
But yes, then I've seen double wides. I've seen triple wides. But if you're going to make a standee, people out there, standee manufacturers, please make them just bigger.
Are there any standee manufacturers listening to the podcast?
Get in touch.
I'd love to.
Rosie would love a sample.
Can we have a PlayStation Access standee? Put it on the set.
Only if it's triple wide.
Yeah, triple wide.
That could be the new it could be a standee of the bookshelf.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea. Yeah. That's a good idea, yeah.
Right, on that standee chat, I'm going to move us on from D to C, which is comments of the week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was slick.
Very
was
slick.
It?
I liked it.
It felt bad, but we got there. So we're going to move on to comments of the week from the hashtag Pod Squad, which we're going to do right now with some music as an interlude. Bye. Did somebody say music as an interlude? Because we just had it, and now we're going to have some more musical interludes fresh from our mouths. Okay. So are we just going to dive in and do it right?
Bet. It's time.
It's time
for comments of the week.
Yeah!
Are we getting better? I think we are.
So.
I had the little brain moment of like, am I third or fourth?
Yeah, I'm really glad you didn't ask, Rosie, because if you had done,
if you could see me on camera,
on
camera, I was like, oh.
I could feel the tension in the sofa. There was a sort of hum of tension that went through you where you were like, I'm just gonna go for it.
I'm third.
Well done, Rosie. To you in particular.
Thanks.
Well done. You did great. So we're going to have a little look at the comments of the week now from the hashtag Pod Squad. If you have not heard of this before, if this is your first introduction to the PlayStation Access podcast, the official podcast of PlayStation UK,
thank you very much.
Let me tell you, the hashtag Pod Squad is a collective of people that leave the said hashtag Pod Squad upon YouTube videos, upon social media, with a comment or with a message that then gets collected by community coordinator Alex, put into a little pot, mixed up like a potion, and then read out upon a podcast episode. So I have said mixed up potion-esque comments here right now, but if you want it to be you, just leave the hashtag Pod Squad on a future thing. Social media, YouTube comment, carrier pigeon, write it on the wall.
We won't see that. We won't see that.
One that we walk past, preferably.
No, don't do that either. That's the last thing I want to see when I walk into work.
My God, that would be terrifying.
I would love that.
Especially don't leave them on the sides of our houses.
No.
That would be terrible.
Don't suggest it.
I was suggesting against it.
Oh, but it sounded like you were suggesting, especially.
It did a little bit, yes.
Don't do this.
That would
especially
be such a shame.
Keyboard into my car. If you attach it like a little note round Toasty's collar and
if
send
I
it
had
back in.
infinite money, I would go and key that into Rob's car. And
you'd want it like a parking ticket,
and then buy you a new car later. But I'd love for that to for me to do that.
Yeah,
not for it to actually happen. Don't do that.
Upon the bonnet.
Why are we talking about this?
Anyway, let's have some comments.
So, because of Dragons from the Legend of Dragoon stream says, I'd love to key Rob's car. Says Pod Squad. Shame.
Shame.
It's right that I should be shamed. I'm right to be shamed. That means I don't do it for the rest of the day, right? That's it.
So, because of Dragons says Pod Squad. I played along with this as you folks were streaming and was a proper trip down memory lane. I can't wait to dive in deeper. So many good memories.
Woo! Did you also have pancakes?
I don't know. I'm not because of dragons.
I'm asking because of dragons specifically, but I like how you answered.
We made eye contact. I was like, oh, I don't know the answer.
Are you still playing Legend of Dragoon, Rob?
Yes.
Are you gonna go the whole hog?
I would very much like to platinum it, yes. I've looked at the trophy list and it looks very gettable. It's basically just do the story and collect some things.
Can I just shock you? I've never played it and have no idea what it is.
That doesn't shock me.
Neither have I.
That doesn't shock me at all.
Oh.
Why would that shock me? You've not played any Final Fantasy
you
games
respected
either.
me slightly more than that. But yeah.
Why would that shock me, Dave?
No, I haven't. Yeah. So what is it?
It is a Japanese role-playing game.
Boring. I just wanted to do that for a joke. Don't put that in the podcast.
Oh, that's going in, I'm afraid.
Ow.
Dave's made his bed and he's going to sleep in it.
You just left the perfect pause and I just couldn't resist. So I was like,
Back and everything.
It's the way it peaked as well.
I
Like
tried
the
to
power
save
behind
everyone's
it.
microphone.
Wow.
Sorry. Do tell me though. Now, just do that bit again.
Oh,
If
I
it's a
can.
Japanese role.
It's a Japanese role-playing game. It's a Japanese role-playing game made by Japan Studio.
Oh, really?
In response...
No, that was legit. I really like Japan Studio. That was legit.
That did not feel sincere at
That
all.
was legit.
Cremated.
I meant that.
Oh, really?
I meant that. Japan Studio are great.
Really?
I meant it.
I don't think we can talk any more about Legend of Dragoon.
Right, so our next comment, just to move on from that, is from Martin Potter on the GT7 VR2 stream, who says, #VOD Squad, #Pod Squad.
Pod Squad.
Yeah, sit in your
I know
shame.
my place.
This is a quite a long comment, so buckle up, my guys. As one of the resident car nuts / motoring enthusiasts / gearheads in this community, I feel I must say a huge thank you to Rob and Ash for this Gran Turismo 7 PSVR2 stream. Obviously, I knew Rob was going to appreciate it, but it was especially heartwarming to see Ash have a genuinely great experience. You drive a manual and love pop-up headlights, Ash. You're on your way to being a car person.
Wow, I love how you turned into car sales pitch there.
There's more. I've never been a VR guy, but I'll admit I've been thoroughly tempted by what you've showcased with the PSVR 2. A really enjoyable stream filled with Thrustmasters, Vaseline and brunch. But I'll pump the brakes on holding it against you for not knowing what Brembo was. Keep up the great work. I don't know.
I like
I'm
the
very
persona
confused.
you've adopted for Martin Potter.
Yeah.
Why was there Vaseline involved on the
I
stream?
can't remember.
We were just
God.
talking about how useful it is as a substance.
Right.
'Cause
Fair enough.
I use it as like just all over the face sometimes, just
Right.
to hold in some moisture.
Yeah.
You can use it for lip balm. You can use it on a dry elbow. You can grease things with it.
Yeah. It's well done
Yeah.
to everyone involved at
Petroleum.
Vaseline.
Well done.
I'm gutted. I'm gutted to have missed out on the Gran Turismo 7
Well, we could
VR.
do more. We can do more. I really
I'm
want
just
to
going to play it. I
I want to do.
just want to play it.
We should do a multiplayer online race. Yes.
I know.
This is quite funny because I was really bummed out that I missed you being super scared by the baby as well. So I'm sure we can do both, can't we?
No. We've done that. That's fine. You should do the baby in VR.
Yeah, I should.
And I'll watch that.
I should. I haven't had a go on Resident Evil Village VR yet.
Oh my God.
I'm excited.
It's great fun.
Even the demo freaked me out.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen it.
Oh,
the tutorial. Go into this pitch black garage.
The
I was
garage.
like, I'm definitely
I
gonna
said
die.
that because I played the demo before our stream with Lady Domitrescu, and I remember coming downstairs like, oh, it's very dark. You know what I mean? And you have the little torch, and it's just like, I
Oh,
swear, you're just
so,
like,
my
this
God.
garage is the darkest garage in the world.
Yeah, I wouldn't go in there. Absolutely.
No.
So yeah, I'm gutted to have missed that, but I'm glad that that you did a good job.
Yeah,
well
I
done.
freaked out. It was really good. Like, you're in the car, you're
Yeah.
in it,
Yeah.
you're in it, and the
Yeah,
headlights pop up.
Oh,
Like,
can't wait to
It feels
experience
and
it.
looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's so good.
it's really, really good. And I'm glad that you enjoyed it too, Martin Popper, and as a car nut, motoring enthusiast, gearhead, from one to the other.
Nice.
Because I am as well now. Appreciate you.
You did just call him Martin Popper, I should just say.
Martin Potter. So we've got our next comment from Jifa Gary on Twitter, who said #PodSquad.
Pod Squad.
Pod Squad.
If you could combine two games, i.e. from the world of one and the gameplay of another, which would they be? For me, Skyrim, but with the traversal mechanics of Horizon Forbidden West. Climbing, gliding, sliding, grappling and rappelling. Rappelling, I like us, just get away from me.
Yes.
And hiding in tall grass.
Okay, yeah, well, I can go because I've been thinking about this a lot because this is really boring, everyone, but this is my answer. I want Marvel's Midnight Suns, but in the Star Wars universe, thank you.
Oh,
I would love it. Absolutely love it.
It's a card game of Star Wars.
Yes, but also something I haven't mentioned maybe enough about Marvel's Midnight Suns is there's this whole social simulator side to it where you have to live in a big house with all the Marvel's Midnight Suns and the Avengers, and you have to like build relationships with them and stuff. So just like a cool rebel base.
He wants to kiss
with
Chewbacca.
Me, Chewie's there, Han's there, Luke's there, Princess Leia's there, R2, C-3PO, some supporting cast members, and I'm just hanging out. We're, playing Pazak, doing that holographic chess, drinking some blue milk. Like, it's not just that I absolutely love the combat is the best thing in Marvel's Midnight Suns, but I would love it in Star Wars, but I also would just love that aspect of it as well, which really surprised me about Marvel's Midnight Suns. Anyway, trust me, I don't know who we've got to email, but if we can get them talking...
George Lucas.
Just
email him.
I've tried. I think he might have blocked me.
Oh.
But yes, it's that would be absolutely fantastic. Any other takers?
I would love to do Inscription crossed with something like your Resident Evil or like a survival horror general experience.
Yeah.
So that you go from the opposite, basically.
Right.
So you go from seeing the card game of Inscription to going into it and experiencing the things because you play through it, and it's like it's very interpretive, and you've got like this game that's playing and you're in this cabin and you're doing all your cards. I would love to see the actual things take place, like meeting the trapper and actually meeting the fishermen and all that sort of thing as well, and like seeing what the monsters look like and how they interact with stuff. I would love that. And the way, oh my god, Inscription's so full of beautiful, wonderful, amazing, surprising things. I just think it would be really cool to kind of have the simulation of like a battle, like actually doing some combat with something.
Yeah.
And it could like play out as like another version of it. I just think that would be really cool.
I think I'm going to buy Inscription. You've said enough things now.
You will love it.
Yeah, you've said that, and that I'd like to love it.
We'll do your new favourite game on Inscription.
I'd really like you to see Marvel's Midnight Suns. I wish someone would play it. You're all useless. It's so good. I'm on the last mission. I've done this weird thing. This is how much I like it. I've got to the last mission and I haven't played it for 2 weeks because I don't want it to be over.
Aww. But then you haven't played it for 2 weeks.
I know. I'm in a weird spot. I just need to do it. I just need to play it.
Do a platinum run on it after.
I may do, but it's quite a lot of work. But yes, please, if anyone likes the sound of Marvel's Midnight Suns, do play it.
Maybe a cool crossover would be like Tomb Raider in the gameplay style of just any open world.
Open world Tomb Raider.
Yeah, imagine that. You're Lara Croft and you can go in the sea, and then there's like, some underwater submarines you can actually go in and explore. Like you can come up and then you can fully go into jungles, tombs, like you're just running around as Lara Croft, dinosaurs pop up, some other things pop up. Like, imagine Lara's just in
dinosaurs.
this. Lara just like wakes up in this place. It's just a big open world, and then you can just explore it as Lara Croft.
That sounds cool.
I think you would get so much joy from that as
well.
I
would be like
a dinosaur. Whoa!
The T-Rex is back! Exploring tombs, I'd just be, spend so many times. I'd find a tomb. I'd be like, I'm going to be a tomb raider. Yes. I'm going to raid that tomb.
I'm going to raid that tomb. We also got a comment from Orman who says, I love the idea of a hashtag PS Access Monarch timeline. We can look back on the 5 victory reign of Dave the Great and the TBC victory reign of Bloody Ash the Queen Tyrant. Hashtag Pod Squad.
Pod Squad?
Yeah. Not you though.
No, you missed it. No. Yes, I mean I'd like to see that. When are we going to battle next? Because
I don't know, it's coming though.
Would like another chance at the crown, please.
I need to V Rosie.
It's Rosie's turn next.
What do you mean it's Rosie's turn next?
It is Rosie's turn next.
Apparently people are saying it's my turn.
Doesn't it just go back to the start?
It does, but you battled everyone.
Yeah.
And then you battled me and Rob again.
Okay,
and Rosie
hasn't had a turn.
Rosie didn't battle you.
Fair enough.
If you want to go, Dave, then
well, I do, Rosie, but no, you should take it on.
After Rosie is battled, then we'll go back to the who could it be?
Yeah. Okay.
So
I'm excited for that. Very excited for that.
It will be good.
But I'd love to see some sort of graphic. Yeah, I don't know how many monarchs we need to have had to make that. Just one for my reign would be good.
We'll start the family tree and we should just add to it.
Family tree?
Yeah, like, how they usually display the monarchs in timeline. A timeline, you know what I mean?
It will have to be that each of us dies, and then the new one is the succession.
So Dave the First is gone.
Yeah, Dave the First is dead.
I want everyone. They should all have nicknames as well, and all like a monarch-style portrait picture.
Yeah.
Yes, I would be Dave the.
You'd be the long ruling.
Dave the Lucky.
I say Dave the platforming king.
Whoa!
Thank you, Rosie.
Because you won that big platforming race, which everyone was against you for, Dave. But you made a comeback.
Jammy.
Yes.
It's all Rob. If you under any doubt as to how it happened, it's all right there.
I know how it happened.
Recorded in video.
I know very well how it happened.
Dave the false humble.
You take that back. I am legit humble.
Dave the worm when we played worms.
Yeah, you are a worm. You spend a lot of time underground, like in Dig Dug as well. So
I think all kids are like Dave the worm.
God, with a Y.
Yeah.
All right,
that's
then.
a bit more powerful.
Okay, with the Y.
Yeah.
Right, that's enough of that. We're going to move on from our comments of the week section. So thank you very much, everyone who sent those in. We're now going to go on to Before We Go. So here's some music. Okay, here we are. We're back in the room. We never left it, everyone. Room Before We Go, which means we're going to have some conversation outside of gaming. So does anybody have anything they'd like to talk about?
I do.
Speak.
I will take the room.
Last night, I saw very faintly in the night sky the aurora in Wiltshire.
That's cool.
Which was amazing. And I don't think will probably never happen again.
Why?
Well, it's just very rare to see it this far south.
Yeah.
But over the last couple of days, we were recording this on the morning of the 28th of February. So this was the night of the 27th of February. And also the night before, there was a lot of Northern Lights aurora activity. Very visible in Scotland, in northwest Scotland, but also seen as far south as Cornwall and Kent and the Brecon Beacons. And last night, I had a look it was very, very hard to see with the naked eye, but I took a photo, like a really long exposure photo, and there's very clear, like, pink and green sort of like glints in the sky.
Oh, wow.
Which was unbelievable. I really enjoyed it.
Did you share that anywhere?
No.
Oh, you should post it. I want to see it.
Yeah, share it with us, please. I want to see it.
No, I didn't think anyone would be interested.
That sounds awesome.
Oh, he says at the end when he's like, "Oh, let me bring it up."
Yeah. I don't think, what are you telling us if you don't think anyone would be interested?
Well, I mean, like on my social media.
Oh, right. Okay.
I would be interested. I would like it.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd like it.
Doesn't all have to do massive likes, Rob. It can just be for you and for 5 people.
Yeah,
3 of which are here.
It was great. It was very magical.
That's really cool.
I enjoyed
That's really, really cool. On the topic of space being cool, I went to the War of the Worlds immersive experience.
It looks so cool.
Jeff Wayne's the musical version of the War of the Worlds immersive experience is its full name, which is very long. But
where's that?
It's in London, by the Gherkin.
Oh wow! How long is it there for?
It's been there 4 years.
Oh my God, I had no idea about this.
Yeah, it's been there 4 years. I think it's won some awards. It's carrying on for a bit longer. It's like this whole place that they've purpose-built with like VR headsets in and everything. So they've got like purpose-built rooms as well as VR sections, as well as like other bits. It's so good. Like there's a real tripod in the bar that you can go in. When you go in, like mild spoilers, because I'm telling you a little bit of what happens, but it's still so worth seeing for yourself. You go in and... there's the first bit after the observatory when they've seen like the tripods in the sky. You go out to Horsell Green and they've got like the actual like green set up and the guy's like looking at the stuff and making some notes. And the tripod literally starts firing lasers and things start burning, like fire starts coming up. And they do this bit where one fires at him and he reacts like whoa, and loads of smoke comes up and he falls over, and as he falls over this image comes up on the screen behind him, like this like video of him burning like on fire, and it's done so smoothly. It proper looks like they've fried him in the middle of the thing. It's so good.
Oh my God, is it scary?
The next room after that, you're in a room with a woman. All the lights go out and you can hear the tentacle in the room. That's scary. That was really scary because there's this big flashing bit at the end where it's like this strobe light and she's been absolutely got by it, like skewered and sucked up the chimney. I went with a family who were in our group and there was a young girl there and she had to leave after that. And I was like, Fair enough.
I'm not surprised.
She was brave for lasting out that long, you know what I mean? And then she came back afterwards, which was really nice. But yeah, there was red weeds. There was a little bar in the middle of the red weed bar. Oh God, I love Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds, and that was it was really cool. It's for my dad's birthday, so and he loves it as well. The chances of anything coming Mars are a million.
Did they have you know when it goes do 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 do. You know that the bass guitar on one of the songs. Please say that played as you walked in.
I don't think I remember the bass guitar, but it had like the chances of anything coming from Mars song. They did a whole section for Autumn Forever and like, the
Autumn Forever's a great song.
And then there was the bit like you're on like a balloon at the end, like flying literally on a balloon. Oh, it's so good.
That sounds amazing. I can't believe I had no idea about this.
Yeah, it's well worth going to. Like, I love a little immersive experience, sort of dealio. I just think they're well fun. And that was sublime. Yeah. Like, it was really good.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So there's our little space themed before we go. Do you guys have any space moments?
No, I've been watching Search Party on iPlayer, which I think is really good. That's my little top tip. It's 20-minute episodes. It's sort of a comedy mystery drama thing about a woman who goes missing and her sort of not good college friends try to find her, sort of half-heartedly. It's funny, but I love, it's rare, I think, to find something so good that's in 20-minute chunks, or it is for me anyway. I'm used to just everything being an hour long, and I just love, when you've just got 20 minutes, just a little episode of something, and I've really enjoyed it. There are 5 series, and I just finished series 1, and it's very, very good.
Very nice. Okay, guys, thank you very much for sharing. That has been the PlayStation Access podcast for this week. I hope you've all had a lovely time. It's been lovely chatting with you all, the audience. You guys fine as well. Yeah,
we're all right.
If you want to see more from us, head to our YouTube channel. Come back in a couple of weeks and we'll have more lovely episodes for you that we release every fortnight. But yeah, have a great day and we'll see you again very soon. Goodbye.
Bye.